The federal opposition has called on the National Audit Office to examine Melbourne's controversial Suburban Rail Loop project. Joining me live now from Melbourne is the Shadow Infrastructure Minister, Bridget McKenzie. Bridget, so great to see you. Thanks for joining me. Why do you think we actually need this audit?
Yeah, great to be with you, Trudy. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. Look, I've written to the Auditor-General because I'm very concerned about the risk that this project puts on Commonwealth taxpayers and Commonwealth governments going forward. The Labor Party federally has signed us up to $2.2 billion to a project that has had more red lights flagged than can be believed. The Victorian Ombudsman, the Victorian Auditor-General, leading economists such as Chris Richardson have all said this project doesn't stack up. And so I believe the Auditor-General needs to assess its merits so that we can understand the risk it poses to future Commonwealth budgets, because at the moment, federal Labor is just signing a blank cheque for Jacinta Allen and the Labor Party down here on a project that on any available public data doesn't stack up.
The Prime Minister did take this commitment to the election, though. Essentially, he has a mandate for this. The Commonwealth's contribution so far is much more limited compared to the state government, around $2.2 billion. Asking the Audit Office to look at this, is this essentially a stunt?
Not at all, Trudy. Everyone thinks $2.2 billion these days is not a lot of money. It actually could build dozens of childcare centres, 6 new hospitals. I could go on and on with how the Commonwealth could use $2.2 billion better than it has. Just because you take something to the election doesn't mean you have to do it, particularly if it's not a good idea. And I've been very concerned since the election that the government has refused to put this project through a due diligence process on behalf of Commonwealth taxpayers. They ruled this project explicitly out of their infrastructure review that took them, that 120 odd days to complete. They also made moves in the Senate in that last week of Parliament to make sure that Infrastructure Australia didn't have to actually examine this project because of its size. And so at every step of the way, they've shielded this project from adequate scrutiny. So I've written to both Infrastructure Australia and obviously the Auditor-General to actually undertake an examination so that the Commonwealth taxpayer can understand the risk this project poses. Because you say $2.2 billion, but this is an eye-watering project of in excess of $200 billion. And if you think Victoria is going to stump up that amount of money, you're kidding yourself, and you haven't had a look at Victoria's budget of late. So the Commonwealth is going to hold a lot of risk if this project goes ahead, and we're only doing the right thing by the taxpayer and our job to make sure it goes through some sort of process, because at the moment, just saying it's election commitment doesn't mean you should fund it.